Welcome back, class. We are starting our second chapter. Actually, the first main chapter of this course, Signal and Systems. So, this chapter, the purpose of this chapter is to discuss about the different characteristics of the continuous time signals. Okay. So, we are going to study the different characteristics of the continuous time signal, CT continuous time signal. And we will learn about the characteristics. We are going to learn about the transformation of the signals, that how you can actually transform the signal. Okay, so transformation could be in time domain. Okay, there are different transformations in time domain. So basically every signal will have two axes. One could be time axis and one could be amplitude axis. Okay, dependent independent axis. So transformation could be in the independent axis time axis or could be in the amplitude axis. That how you can actually transform from one to another. Okay, so we will learn about this, that how we can actually perform the basic operation of the transformations and what are the applications of those transformations. And then we will learn about some signal characteristics. What are the basic signal characteristics? Okay, for example, the signal could be even, odd, and how the combinations of the even, odd could form the main signal. Okay, how you can characterize the signals in terms of the periodic or non-periodic, how you can calculate the fundamental period of the signals. Then we will learn about some most commonly used signals in engineering. Okay, so we will see different kind of signals, like we will talk about the rectangular signals, the impulse signals. Okay, and lastly we will study about the continuous time systems. What are the continuous time systems and what are the properties of the continuous time systems, how we can characterize the continuous time. So that's what we are going to study in this chapter. So let's start with the first topic, the transformation of the continuous time signals. So as I said earlier, the transformation could be in the first we will talk about the transformation in terms of the time axis. So in terms of the time axis, there are three possible transformations: the time reversal, time scaling, and time shifting. So the first one is the time reversal. Okay, so the time reversal is it's also known as the reflection of the signals. Okay, for example, let's say this is our input signal. Okay, let's say this is a continuous time signal, so which is being represented like we just have this shape of the signal. Okay, so this is my continuous time x of t signal. Okay, so the time reversal is I will reverse the time axis of this signal. Okay, so we represent that using minus t. Okay, so if like this is my input signal, and if I reflect this time axis, I'm calling this another signal. So that another signal I'm representing using y of t. So what is time reversal means? Okay, so this shape is existing from 0 to 2 seconds. So when I will reverse this, okay, it will go like this one. Okay, it will be reversed in time. Okay, first it is existing from 0 to 2. Now it will be existing from 0 to minus 2. I'm sorry. And this one, it is existing from 0 to minus 1 time. Okay, so when I will reflect, it will go to this one, 0 to 1. Okay, so this operation is called the time reversal, that we are reversing the signal. Okay, so what are the practical applications of these transformations? Okay, so for example, you stored the music in a CD and you are playing the music in the backward. Okay, so the song is recorded, but you want to play that song in the backward direction. So that operation is actually implemented using the time reversal application of the continuous time signals. The second application is time shifting. Okay, time shifting is, for example, your original signal. Let's take one example. With the example, it will be more clear. So let's say this is my one signal, okay, which is let's say existing from 0 to 2 time period. Okay, this is t, and let's say this is my x of t. So time shifting is, okay, you want to shift the time of the existing of this signal, okay, and we represent using this expression x of t minus b, okay. So b is just a real number integer, okay. So if b is positive, okay, for example x of t minus 2, okay. So if b is positive, we will be shifting towards right, okay. And if b is positive, and if b is negative, okay, for example x of t minus 2, okay, so then we will be shifting towards left, okay. So I can also write this thing as x of t plus 2, okay. So if this b is positive, we will be shifting towards right, and if b is negative, we will be shifting towards the left, okay. So let's try to shift this signal first, x of t minus 2, okay. So x of t minus 2 means, okay, now I want to draw t minus 2. So this signal will be shifted towards the right, okay, with a time period of 2, okay. So for example, this is 0, it will be gone to 2, and this is 2, 2 plus 2, 2 plus 2, it will be 4, okay. So now this will be shifted signal, x of t minus 2, okay, shifted towards the right side, okay. And now let's try to draw the x of t plus 2, okay. So now here actually b is negative, right, okay. So now it will be shifted towards the left, okay. So the 0, okay, so 0 it will be shifted to, now you have to subtract minus 2, it will go on to minus 2, I'm sorry, so it will go on to minus 2 times, and this 2 minus 2, it will become 0, okay. 2 minus 2, this 0, this will go to I'm sorry, we are having this problem here, okay. Let me just choose this thing, okay. So it's minus 2, it will be coming here, and this 2 minus 2 will be 0, so this point will be coming here, okay. So this will be shifted in times by 2, okay. So this is x of t plus 2, so we can shift the signal in times, okay, by just looking at the value of the integer. If it's positive, we will shift towards the right, and if it is negative, we will shift towards the left, okay. Talking about the practical application, okay, we can use this time shifting properties for the calculation of the response of the system, okay. For example, what will happen in the system, like if you are like advancing or delaying the input time, okay. So how your system will respond to that. So usually we use this time shifting properties for the calculation of the response of the system. So you have developed one continuous time system, for example an amplifier, then how that amplifier will respond if you delay the input, okay, or if you like advance in the input, okay. So this is called advancing, okay, you are moving towards the right. So we will see one more example, this one during the live session. Try to like redraw these signals. The other third application is time scaling, okay. So the time scaling is you are actually scaling the time, okay. So let's say the input signal is x of t, okay, and now you want to apply the scaling operation on that, okay. So let's consider our same original example again, okay. So this is our x of t, it is existing from 0 to 2, and let's say you want to perform a operation of the time scaling. Time scaling means, okay, let's say you want to calculate x of 2t. Okay, so x of 2t here, now again the integer is a is here is positive. Okay, so now if your a is greater than 1, the signal is compressed. Okay, compressed means, so for example here your in this case a is 2, which is greater than 1, so our signal will be compressed. So how signal will be compressed? Okay, so this 2, okay, it will be divided by 2. Whatever a it will be divided by 2 because a is 2. Okay, 0 divided by 2, so it will be again 0 here, and it will be 1. Okay, and this will be, for example, amplitude is 1, amplitude is 1. So signal is compressed in time. First it was existing from for the period of 0 to 2. Now it is existing from 0 to 1. Okay, so if a is less than 1, so for example, let's say you want to plot 0.5t. Okay, so 0.5, now a is less than 1. So if a is less than 1, it will be expanded or stretched. Okay, so what does stretch means? First it was existing as 2. Okay, now it's 0.5. So what will happen? Now it will be stretched by this factor. Okay, so 2. So what will actually happen? What is the a here? 0.5. So the time axis is 2. So 2 divided by 0.5. So what will be the answer if you divide 2 with the 0.5? So if you divide 2 with the 0.5, you will get 4. Okay, so if you divide 0 with the 0.5, you will get 0. So basically you have to dealt with the whatever original axis you are having. Okay, so now at the 0 you will have 0, this line, and this 2 has been shifted to 4. Now it will be stretched to 4. Okay, so this is the stretched signal or expanded signal. Okay, so this is called time scaling, that you can scale the time axis. Okay, so remember the value of a. If a is positive, greater than 1, you will be compressed. Okay, the signal will be compressed. If a is less than 1, the signal will be stretched or expanded. Okay, so what are the applications of this one? Okay, so for example, you have an answering machine on the telephone. You receive one message, and now you want to, instead of like listening the complete message like slowly, you listen the message in fast forward mode. Okay, so you are just making it fast forward. Okay, so that means you are actually just compressing the time. Okay, so when you will compress the time, the pitch, it will be higher. Okay, and then so fast forwarding, basically you are speeding up the signal. Okay, you are compressing the time. Okay, you want to listen the complete message in a short time. The original message is, for example, 0 to 2 seconds, but now you want to listen in 0 to 1 second. So you are actually compressing the speeding up the signal. So it will increase the pitch, frequency of the voice. Okay, so like you will see that now you are like and not having the original voice. Okay, so for example, you are watching a video on the YouTube, okay, or like just watching a movie, so you can fast forward, so you can like backward fast forward. Okay, so all these operations are basically the time scaling. So you are like actually expanding the time or also compressing the time. Okay, so this is another example. Try to implement these operations, and we will also see this in the live session. So we have seen three kinds of the transformations. So we have seen the first one was actually your time reversal, okay, and then we've seen about the time shifting, okay, and then we've seen about the time scaling. So we can combine them in one form. So we refer them as a of t minus b. So this is your like time scaling. This is your time shifting. Okay. So we can also perform like two operations or three operations together. Okay, but the important thing is you have to pay attention to the order of the transformations. Okay, so like if you are first going for the let's say you want to shift. Okay, if you first want to perform the shifting operation. Okay, so you will shift the signal by the vector of b, and then you will perform the time scaling by the vector of by the value of the integer a. Okay, so this is the first way, first shift and then scale. Okay, but the second way is if you first want to perform the time scaling. So if you first performing the time scaling, okay, so you will scale by the factor of a, but here very important. So if you first performing the time scaling, then you will shift it by the, now you will not shift by the a, you will shift by the vector of b over a. Okay, why? This is for your homework. Think about this, that why we are doing this, and we will discuss this in live session. Okay, so first if you are shifting, just shift by a and then just time scale by integer value of a. Okay, but if you are first performing the time scaling, then scale by a, then shifting will be b over a. So we will discuss this in the live session with the help of an example. So we have seen about the time transformations. Okay, now let's have a look about at the amplitude transformations. Okay, so if you want to perform the operations with respect to the amplitude of the signals. Okay, so the first one is the amplitude scaling. Okay, remember in the time when we perform the time scaling, we were dealing with this variable t. So for example, x of a of t. So you are dealing with the time. Now we are talking about the amplitude of the signal. For example, this is my one signal. Okay, just one signal x of t. Okay, this one. Now you want to change the amplitude. So amplitude, you will be you are coming out of the signal. Okay, for example, you want to perform 2 times of x of t. Okay, so you are just, what is this operation basically, if you guys remember? Okay, it's an amplification process, linear amplifier. Okay, like you use the microphone just to like increase the amplitude of your voice in the public addressing system, like in a concert. Okay, the singer is using microphone, so singer is just amplifying his voice. Okay, so 2 means, so first for example its amplitude is 1. Okay, now when we multiply with 2, so we are just scaling the amplitude by the factor of 2. Okay, so this amplitude of the signal has been increased to this one. We could perform the operation of this one, that half of x of t, that we are like first it's 1, now it will become 0.5. So amplitude has been compressed, okay, by the factor of half. Okay, so this is like you perform here you perform the 2x of t, here you are performing half. What if like if you perform minus 2x of t? Okay, so minus 2x of t is first you are expanding, okay, or increasing the amplitude by the factor of 2, okay, and you will get this signal. Okay, then you are negative sign, okay, so it will be reflected. Okay, so first for example this is 2x of t, so if you want to obtain the minus 2x of t, so you will reflect this signal about the horizontal axis, okay, about this axis. So just reflect. Okay, for example here it's minus 2, so now it will become plus 2 here. Here at 2 it was plus 2, so it will become minus 2 here. Here it was plus 2, it will become minus 2. So just the reflection about the horizontal axis, this axis. Okay, so this is just the operation of the amplitude scaling. Okay, the other one is the amplitude shifting. Okay, so amplitude shifting operation in mathematical form we represent using this one. Okay, so for example this is my original signal, and now you want to shift this with the factor of b. Okay, for example you want to calculate x of t minus 2. Okay, so minus 2 means, remember, do not confuse this with this one. Okay, this is the time shifting. Okay, so you are dealing inside the bracket. So here we are outside of the bracket. Outside of the bracket, we are dealing with the amplitudes. Okay, again, let's see. This is the original signal. It's going from 0 to 2. Now, if you are talking about the amplitudes shifting by factor of -2 means, okay, you are just shifting the amplitude with the factor of -2. So here it's 2. So 2 minus 2 will be 0. So basically at 0, you will get the value of 0. For example, at 2, what is the value? Here 0. So here what will happen? 0 minus 2 value will be -2. So at 2, you are getting the value of -2. So you just shift the signal by factor of -2 here. Okay. So these are the amplitude shifting. So like for the time transformation, we can combine the amplitude transformation also. And in the general form will be like this one, that you are performing the amplitude scaling and you are performing the amplitude shifting. Okay, so again the concept is same. Okay, so first, for example, if you apply the amplitude scaling by the factor of a, then you will shoot the amplitude shifting by the resulting factor of b over a. Okay, so first if you want to perform the scaling, okay, perform the scaling by a and then shift by with respect to b. But if you first want to perform the shifting, then you will perform the shifting by b over a. Okay, and then you will perform the scaling with the a. Okay, so the concept is same. Again, we will discuss this thing, why we are doing this thing in the live session, and we will see the couple of more examples. Okay, thank you very much for your time. See you in live session.